Okay, so now I want you to get this guy out. And if you notice, there's two slots. There's a big slot and a little slot. So what you have to do is find the teeth. Those are those gold plated guys on your little micro USB. And he slides into the little one with the teeth facing the center of the little USB guy here. Okay. So I'm going to get this in here. Do not force, you will destroy your card. And there he goes. He is in, ready to go. Now, what we're going to do is return this to your PC and plug it into an open USB port. All right. What the next step is going to be is to download the Raspberry Pi Imager. And for that, you're going to come up to raspberrypi.com as opposed to the .org. Go to the .com, click on software, and you can't miss it. The very first thing you get on the screen is download the Raspberry Pi Imager, download it, and go ahead and install it. So as you're downloading it and installing it, I'll bring my version up and running. And I have it right there. All right, now when you launch this, it's going to ask for administrative permissions. And that is a requirement of this software in order for him to format your little micro USB cards. You have to grant it access. So go ahead and say yes. It takes it a few minutes to launch. He's going to be mad at me because I believe mine's out of date. And no, I don't feel like updating it right now. So now we have, we're going to walk through this screen one button at a time. We're going to choose our device, and that's a Raspberry Pi 4. And then we're going to choose your operating system. And you want the very first option up here, Raspberry Pi OS 64-bit. And then you want to choose your storage. Now, most likely on your machine, uh, why aren't you popping up? There we go. Okay, most likely on yours, you're only going to have one device show up, and that's the USB guide that we just plugged in. On my particular computer, I have a 6 terabyte backup drive, so I just got to make sure I don't select that one. And then we hit next. And now what I want you to do is edit the settings. This saves us a whole lot of time on the inside. And what we're going to do is name your device. Okay, I'm going to call mine Scout 1. I'm going to give it my normal ID and password. And although you may want to name all of yours, log in with TechHound and something like that, something to think about. And then we want to connect it to your local network. Now, that's required because the first step once we get the operating system installed is that we have to update it. So you're going to need a Wi-Fi connection or hardwire. Either way, it works just the same, although the wire, I believe, is faster. Identify your country, and I suspect most of you are on US. And then you need to choose your time zone. I'm down in Houston, so my time zone, according to Raspberry Pi, is Chicago. So that basically is just saying Central US. Now, I'm trying to think if we need any of this, and I don't think we need to mess with this. Okay, so yes, finish setting up that and hit save. And now what we want to do is say, yes, we're ready to burn our card. And he's warning us that he's going to wipe the card out, and I'm going to say, go for it. And he is beginning. So we are off to the races. And this will take a little while. He downloads the operating system and writes it to the card. So this takes, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and hit pause. I'll come back in a little bit, show you some progress, and then hit pause a few more times. So hold on. Little write successful. And now you can safely remove your USB converter guy. And we are pretty much set. Okay, so the final step in this is not something I can really video because our ribbon is in the way. The insert of the card is directly below the ribbon. Now, you're going to insert the card teeth up towards the board and slide it into there. Now, I'm going to go get my wife to do that because she's got more nimble fingers than I. And then when I come back, we will have the Raspberry Pi pretty much ready to boot up. Isn't that exciting? Okay, Rana was magical. And I'm hoping I get this to where you can see the card there. Now the teeth, those gold teeth, are facing the board when it slides in. You may have to take this ribbon off, especially if you went with a littler ribbon. But that completes the full assembly of how this guy works. So we're going to give it a boot. What do you say? Okay, so I am going to try to plug this in without jerking it off the table. I've got my camera aimed at the screen for a first boot, and we will plug it in. And it looks like the switch was turned off. Isn't that cool? Nope, there it goes. Look, it's booting. Look at that. Isn't that neato? There's your Raspberry Pi up and running. All I've done is plug it in. The screen draws its power through the Raspberry Pi, which is really cool. Now, he's going to boot a couple times. The first time he boots up in like a little bitty 4 or 5 gig partition, and then he resizes to the size of your USB drive, and he reboots again. And then you're watching stuff scroll on the bottom of the screen, I'm hoping. And he's booting up all his stuff. He's putting in your passwords. He's connecting to Wi-Fi. He's doing all that sort of stuff. And there he goes. He rebooted again on us. Don't freak out about any of this. That's all pretty standard fare for a first-time boot on a brand new Raspberry Pi machine. So there's his third boot just finished. And then eventually we'll get to the little rice paddy boat in the fisherman guy somewhere over in the Orient. Which ought to be this one. And at that point, I'm probably going to sign off here. There he is. Because what I want to do now, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to my big screen. And I can capture the screen better and walk you through what's going on there rather than trying to use my fingers on this screen, which probably won't work so well. So hold on and we'll be right back. Okay, so what I have done here is, believe it or not, the Raspberry Pi is really ready to roll just the way it is. His touch screen works like a champ. He's got his own, virtual keyboard ready to use for you. What I want to point out, I went ahead and activated VNC, which is a video sharing really between desktops. And so I'm on my big machine here, and then what you're seeing is the screen of the Raspberry Pi. So the first thing that comes to obvious mind is this button right here, which is asking and pleading for you to do a update. Now we're going to go ahead and click the update, and we can just do install them all. Now, remember that password you put in back on when we were doing the operating system? That's going to come back to haunt us now, because once he's finished downloading this, he's going to ask for that password in order to install the updates. Now, the overall process of this, I'm not going to record it all, takes about 45 minutes to an hour, believe it or not, by the time it's all done. So that also depends largely on your Wi-Fi connection and a host of things. So we're going to cut here, and then basically I'll, well, let's see, it seems to be doing pretty good. Maybe the internet's kind of wide open just for Pete tonight. So we'll let this go a few seconds longer, get to the end, and then he's going to start his installs. The last time I did this, it literally took an hour, hour and 15 minutes. So don't feel bad if this takes quite a while. We're going to kick this off. I'll go ahead and clock it. It's about, I think I started this a couple, 3 minutes ago. So let's call it 7:10. What is it up there? Yeah, it's about right. 5. Well, okay. Time clocks are time clocks. I don't know what we're doing here. Okay, down. Oh, he's still downloading updates. Okay, well, we'll check in later. Okay, so this time it finished in a record like 12 minutes. Isn't that cool? System is up to date, 99 times out of 100. You got to reboot. Well, I'm going to reboot anyhow. But all we got to do now is install our software, and we're fully operational.